Hi. This week I had the Burning Vision individual presentation. So I'm just gonna read through what I had written for that. So my favorite line in the play comes towards the end of the play, when the Japanese grandmother reveals herself as the widow. The line itself is, "You have carried our burden long enough. You do not have to carry me. I will carry you inside. I will say I love you out loud. I will still wait for you. I will still wait for you to come home till I die." In this line, the grandmother affirms to Koji that his internal drive and spirit is grounded, and that no matter what choices he makes or where he ends up, his grandmother will always be there for him. I think that given the significant changes Koji experienced in the play, this line provided a nice conclusion to Koji's overall character arc. My favorite stage moment came in Movement 1, when the Levine brothers first see Koji. In this scene, Koji's talking to a fish that he just caught, commentating on his actions. This scene allows the audience to see Koji's relaxed personality before the bombing, and that he really is just a normal fisherman before it all happens. This humanization of Koji continues in the play, as he's shown to be the most spiritual and free-thinking of the characters. Even as he transforms to the other side of the world, his conversation with his grandmother at the end of the play perpetuates his empathy and emotional capacity in a way that no other character is shown to have. My favorite character in this play was Koji. He is the most relatable character in this play for me. The other characters are shown to be hardened by time or just horny, like the fat man. In this play, Koji is a humble fisherman. He's consistently the voice of emotion in the play, especially in Movement 3. In the middle of this movement, Koji is discovered by the captain and two stevedores. Even Even through being treated as a trout and being told he was stupid by all three of the men, Koji retains his humility in their interaction. Further, when he meets Rose, their short responses in the conversation illustrate his timidity and overall embarrassment in the situation. This is something that the audience can relate to, and I found his overall character and the role he has in this play to be essential to the audience's understanding of the emotional toll the bombings took on Japan. The world of this play was something that was very confusing to me, and I didn't really get it on my first reading of the play. There are very rapid scene cuts in the middle of movements, jumping between time and location, and it's very difficult to understand because of it. Additionally, every stage direction given is shown to be very important because of the rapid scene changes. You need to read all the individual stage directions to really understand what's going on. For a live production, this play would probably have multiple different locations set up, like a mine, an ocean, a TV set, tree, etc., for the entirety of the play. This would make for a very confusing stage as well as a confusing time and space structure, as scenes can take place directly after each other but are actually decades and continents apart. Throughout the play, Marie Clemens jumps back and forth from Japan to Canada to New Mexico, and special care must be taken to understand exactly what happens. The interactions between the characters was also confusing, stemming from these rapid scene changes. I believe that Clemens made this choice because it's emblematic of the chaotic nature of these times in history, as World War II was hectic around the world as we tried to avoid a worldwide apocalypse. My first discussion question was that we know, or at least we were taught, that making the atomic bomb was the best solution for forcing Japan to surrender in World War II. This play illustrates the toll that the bombs had not just on the Japanese, but those involved in the production of the bombs. We see towards the end of the play that we were unaware of the danger of what we were doing when we see the drastic physical changes on the radium painter. In our society, can you think of anything analogous to the radium painter? Along those lines, my next question was if the United States had known about the troubles associated with the atomic bomb, in addition to the effects of the bomb itself, meaning the production and the people that were testing it, do you think Truman would still have ordered its deployment and production and deployment? Additionally, if you were given Truman's power in this scenario, would you have ordered its production and deployment? My last discussion question is that it is obvious that Clemens intentionally wrote the movements as confusing with few acknowledged breaks between scenes or time. How would you stage this play such that the time and location changes are clear? lastly, I have my visual representation, and of that I chose to use a collage. And so here we can see my collage. I have a mushroom cloud and woman and fat boy. Fat man being the big bomb dropped in Nagasaki, little boy being the bomb dropped in Hiroshima. And both of these things are radioactive, so I had those together. Here we have a cherry blossom tree next to some water, kind of how Koji imagined himself climbing onto the tree and then falling into the water. Here we have a radium watch, similar to the ones that Radium Painter was making when she was flicking her radium. Here we have a very dense loaf of bread, similar to the ones that Rose was baking in the play. Here we have a trout that represents Koji. Here we have a kimono, the one similar to one that the Japanese grandmother takes off at the end of the play when she becomes the widow. Here we have an old radio and an old TV set, again showing the things that like gave announcements throughout the play. Here we have like a representation of the mines themselves, where they're like radioactive, and now we know they're radioactive. And finally, have the flashlight that goes back to the brothers at the beginning of the scene of the play. And that's all I had. So thank you for watching.